So what is the cost of waiting? The cost of not addressing your hormones and your metabolic health? Hey guys, it's Dr. Eric, the fitness physician, where I talk about muscle medicine, hormone optimization, health and performance optimization, and more. So I just wanted to address this because I get very excited about this. I practice muscle medicine. It's a practice where I focus on muscle as an organ of longevity because it's what keeps us healthy and strong. It's not just about looks. It does so many other things for the body in terms of metabolic health, keeping us healthy and preventing all the diseases of aging. So I hear this come up quite a bit in terms of like, why should I do this, or why should I work on a program to optimize my health and my hormones? So basically I always think of like a cost, right? The cost of ignoring your hormones. Well, it's kind of like the cost of missing out, right? Of cost of what else? What's on the other side of the coin? So and that compares to kind of like, look, if I told you I had an investment for you and you could make 50% on your money, guaranteed, would you take it or not? So most people are like, hell yeah, I would take that, right? So it's the same thing when I tell people, say, look, if I optimize your hormones, I improve your metabolic health, and I can get you functioning better, feeling better, you can have a 50 up to 38 to 50% or more reduced risk of dying. In other words, you'll live 50% longer, or you'll have a 50% reduced risk of heart disease, the number one killer of men and women. You reduce your risk of Alzheimer's, of dementia, of osteoporosis. Osteoporosis kills more people than breast cancer. It's like the indirect cost, right? Because you're too weak, you're too frail, you fall and you break a hip, and then you're in the hospital. A great majority of those people end up either dying or in a sick care or a care facility, and your life's done at that point, right? The cost of that is millions of dollars, way more than what's spent on breast cancer. So but when I tell people that, kind of like, oh, whatever, they don't really think about it. When I express it as this, like, what's the cost? Financially cost. Like I said, if you could make 50% of your money, you would jump at it, right? Because people think in these terms, right? If I could save you 50% of going to your favorite concert, people would be all over it, or 50% on your favorite dinner. Great. People drop thousands of dollars on money and concerts and football games and football paraphernalia and dinners out and drinks out with their girlfriends. If you add that up, I mean, I've done it. I've done the math. I mean, it's way more than what you would spend on a gym membership, a hormone and health optimization program like what I do, or working with a nutritionist, or all of the above combined for that matter. But it's all relative. You look at people, well, I can't do that. I don't want to spend, $10 on my medication for my blood pressure, but they're at the football game, the next weekend, spending thousands of dollars cheering on their team, right? It's like it's kind of like whatever you want to spend the money on is what's important to you. So health should be important to you. The cost is massive, and the cost is your future life. You enjoy doing these things, right? You enjoy living life. But if you can't do that, what happens if you can't do that tomorrow because you're too tired, you're too weak? If you can't recover, if you can't bounce back, I see this all the time. People are like, I just can't keep up with my friends at work. I mean, I have the answer in my head and I'm just, thinking that then they're just sick to their stomachs. They're like, God, I just couldn't do it. Joe was like flying around me and come up with answers. And I'm sitting there thinking, I know this, but I've been doing this for a long time. And he's younger than I am and I can't keep up, anymore. Or, I talk to people and they're like, my wife just, she gets mad because like I could care less. I don't really want to go home and be intimate. I don't want to have sex, and she gets frustrated with me. And the look in her eyes that just puts a pit in my stomach, when I get that, when I fix people and I help people, they're like, hey, Dr. Eric, things are great. We're talking again. We feel close. We're having great sex. And it's about that intimate connection that he lights up, and he gets excited. He's got his life back, right? He's got his mojo back. It's not just about the sex, it's about the enjoyment, that passion, the connection. The same with people. They're like, holy shit, I can actually get through the day. I didn't realize how crappy I felt. Now I'm catching up with Joe at work. I'm passing him, I'm killing it at the gym. I'm feeling better. I got abs for the first time in my life. I feel good, they're like, they light up, So what's the cost? The cost is what else? What are you missing? You're losing muscle mass, you're not recovering, you have reduced energy. You're tired all the time, right? To reduce quality of life because of your daily functions. You can't travel. You want to go on that trip, but you look at it's a place you go to Machu Picchu or whatever, and a whole bunch of stairs to climb, and you're like, can't do them. I can't do it. My legs aren't strong enough. Holy shit, you're missing out, dude. Like you should be able to go cruise up those and see that, experience life and see what it's all about. That's what it's about. So that's the cost. To me, that's important. So health is wealth. So if you are healthy and you're strong, you have the ability to do these things. You can play with your kids in the yard. You can look forward to playing with your grandkids, at that point in time. You can look forward to a weekend out with your friends and your partner because you know that you can keep up and you could do the things that you want to do. You're not going to miss out on these things. So, you can keep up with your peers, right? Your relationship is back on track, so these are the costs, right? So to me, those things are important. And so a 38 to 50%, and this is what's shown in the studies, when you optimize your hormones, optimize your metabolism, you have a reduced risk of all these diseases that are affecting everybody's insulin resistant and overweight in America, huge amount of the population. So if you can nip that in the bud by optimizing your health and hormones and metabolism by practicing muscle medicine, you can prevent all that. Holy shit, that's a huge, huge thing without going on medications, without having surgery, without being on disability and taking all these insurance policies, spending all this money and all this crap. Yeah, you may spend some money on a health program, a health coach, and hormones and natural hormones and some supplements, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. And in the end, going to save you a lot of money because if you're in a hospital, you're on disability, you're doing all these things and you're missing out, that's a lot bigger cost financially, emotionally, physically, mentally to me. So health is wealth. So the cost of ignoring your hormones, the cost of ignoring this is to me a no-brainer. So anyway, I had some people talking, I was talking about that and I see this come up a lot and I bring this up, it's like, again, it's all relative. If you find something that's valuable to you, you'll do what you need to do to make it happen. When I used to have a clinic, a cosmetic clinic, I'd see people that you wouldn't think would be able to spend money on things like liposculpture or laser treatments for their face. Maybe they're like a hairstylist or that a really low blue collar job and it's a single mom scraping to get by. Man, she'd come up with that money to do that Botox or those fillers or that liposculpture because that's what she wanted. She it was important to her. Same thing with this. People, if this is valuable, if you see the value that you could be a younger version of you, you could perform at home, at work, in the bedroom, on the track, in the gym. To me, a lot of people are like, shit, hell yeah, I want that. I want to turn back the clock. And that's worth it. And they'll do what they need to do financially, emotionally, mentally. And the payoff is with. So the cost is massively important to them. And it's important to me. And hopefully it's important to you. So I just want to get that out there and explain what you don't want to miss out. You want to feel the best that you can be. Again, my mantra, live to give, be the best you could be so you could feel good about yourself and give to other people, make them feel good about themselves. So just my message for the day. Everyone have any questions, please reach out to me. And if you're interested, work with me, check out Dr. Eric Primex at drericprimex.com. I'm doing consultations all across the country. Got my new VIP program out there. It's massive. It's huge. It's going to do things that no one else is doing. Very few people, I should say. And in terms of doing a deep dive into your health. And if you're interested, let me know. I'll send you the link. Everybody have an awesome day and we'll talk to you soon.